also. Official record, I want to make sure that everybody's here that's supposed to be. Our Park Recreation Committee is assisted by Mr. Councilman Fleshman, Arnett, Mr. Wolf, and myself, and our director, Bob Jones. Also here today, we got Councilman Thompson, Councilman Benson, Councilman Scipio, Councilman August, and we have the mayor, Bill Cunningham, and our county clerk, our city clerk, Ms. Hall, with us today. So to have that record, we're all here.
That's not on.
Pardon me?
That's not on. You want it on?
Yeah.
To talk, maybe you all know that go up there. You do. One more.
So we go through the minutes of the previous session. Park Recreation, we have 2 sets of meetings that we have to approve in our prior dates of February the 18th and February the 4th that we had. Y'all got a chance to look over these minutes and stuff and approve one, please.
I'll make a motion that we approve last month meeting's minutes.
Second. We have a motion to accept the meetings of February the 18th and February the 4th meetings by Greg Hudson and seconded by Doug Fletcher. All those in favor of approval? Say aye. All those opposed? Carried. New business. We don't have anything really under old business when we move right into new business. We had our A&D signing of the contract with the caretakers. Everybody knows that Bill Moss has moved into the city park as a caretaker. He has moved in officially. We're arriving here to sign his contract, but we're going to do that at a separate time. It's already been signed by the mayor.
No, I've already had, he was already signed it.
It's already been signed. The wine cellar park caretaker, the house finally got empty. We got out there, but it's going to be occupied by Matt Dawson, the Turner.
I think we still need to approve it.
Which we need to approve. We had 3 applicants that came in and submitted their names. We talked to them and we decided that Matt Turner was going to be our best candidate to move in out the house. He also agreed to do a lot of the work himself, which is going to save a significant amount of money, which we'll talk about here in a minute on that. But, so we need a motion to accept Matt as our tenant out the caretaker's house out of Wine Cellar Park.
I'll make a motion that we accept Matt Turner to be our new caretaker for Wine Cellar Park and live in that property.
I'll second.
No, she can't.
She can't do one more.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Doug Fleshman and seconded by Steve Arnett. All those in favor, vote sign where they yes. All those opposed, no.
Yes.
Motion carried. So we'll get back to sign that. All right, got it. Back to the caretaker's house, we went up there, Bud, myself, the mayor, building inspector, went through the house. As you all know, it's been sitting for a long time with a lot of non-really care. Floors look real good in the sound, electric's good in it, but the heating and cooling is completely shot. There is none. It's got all baseboard heating in it. It's been in it since day one. Doesn't have any air conditioning. So there's no flow of any air going through the house. The crawl space, the sanitary board, went out and looked at underneath the house, and we don't have any moisture or anything over the house, but the house is damp. It's, it's just where it sits out there with no air in it. So we kind of looked at putting a new heating and cooling system in the whole house. We haven't got an exact number on that, but that was one of the budget numbers we'll talk about. And as soon as we do get these numbers together, I'll have Bob to go over what we were looking at putting in there and talk about a little bit about the money situation. And once we get the exact number, then we put it for approval and like to get it done pretty quickly. So the minute we get the air in there, we can start fixing the thing up. So Bob, do you want to go over the list that we had?
Yeah, I put it in the back of y'all's packet I gave you with the minutes and everything, to be the last page. Yeah, we went through.
Did all other council, you all have this list also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of it's just like minor stuff, replacing, porch out front, that porch a little weak, with some vanity problems. You can put some GFCI or GCFI, whatever receptacles like in the kitchen and in the bathroom. The hot water tank, simple fix, is just putting the pipe on it for where the heat, or the pop off valve is what it's called here. Does need a back door. Like I said, I'll get a hold of somebody about giving me at least one estimate right now, so we can go from there on the HVAC. Look at the flooring of the bedrooms. All 3 bedrooms had carpet in it, and it's terrible. One was even tore. So I contacted the gentleman that did the city park house, and he's supposed to meet me out there today between 2:30 and 3 to give me an estimate on that. I've not got no flooring. We have to do the flooring, but it's like flooring at Connie, when Connie was director down there, that we put down, and that's been what, 15 years ago, 14? And it's a very dark wood, so we'll have to match it up the best we can.
There's no ground fault, except it's in the kitchen.
No.
It's been 14 years.
Yeah.
That floor lasted real good.
Yep. I mean, it's really
The wood
good.
floor has, it don't need to be replaced, but the carpet, it's been 14 years, so.
Oh, yeah, I apologize, you were out there with us, too, I'm sorry.
He just forgets about you.
I just wanted to see what it looked like because before those moved in, we redid the whole house
We did paint it, did everything.
when I was a rec director.
These new interior doors, all the doors that go to the bedrooms, are bad. Holes in them are not even there. The exhaust fan in the bathroom, needs to be replaced, and I think the mayor said that's where probably most of the mold's coming from, because they don't have no exhaust in there. Just new toilet, new vanity and mirror. Smoke alarm, you just gotta get new parts for the tub. The tub, everything's gonna be clean. Right now, it's just got like a pipe sticking out for the bathtub. So we just cut and put one on there, new shower faucet and everything like that. That's kind of inexpensive. Smoke alarms we'll have to put in. I could probably have Frank, the guy who works for me, who's also a certified electrician, to go in there because Hugh said it has to be connected into the panel box. New cabinets and counters in the kitchen, which they are probably older than the oldest person in here. Who y'all say that was? And paint, of course, paint. I didn't put that on there, but he's willing to paint. The ceiling fans, I know you wanted to do ceiling fans, but Max will go in there and clean them up. He said them things are still good. Clean them up and fix them. But, just the major repairs are going to be really is the HVAC and probably the flooring. And I haven't talked with Matt yet about the flooring yet. He may be able to still put it down. So I'm not talking to him about the flooring. But he's doing the rest of this stuff himself. Matter of fact, he's going out today and start pouring out the cabinets and everything.
Our biggest expense will be the HVAC, of course. We'll get a couple estimates on it. It's a small place, so we're looking for about a 2-ton unit, anywhere from $500 to $6,500, but that's brand new ductwork, air conditioning, hooked up, wired, and with a warranty for kitchen cabinets and things. But we kind of threw some numbers together, looking around, probably around $15,000-$16,000 for everything. And that's with Matt doing most of the work, doing paint and things like that. So we have doors and materials to do, but I like to have floors professionally done, which we need to have done. And some of the things that needs to be done by an electrician needs to be done by someone certified. So
Yeah, we have,
make sure that we're taking care of all things.
we have 2 certified electricians.
Exactly. I'm good.
YT and Frank are both certified electricians.
So we're gonna try to get these numbers together, hopefully by Monday council meeting. And maybe we can go ahead and add this to an extra item if we can, if we get the numbers and get it approved, so we get on this immediately. Because caretaker's the one supposed to be out there cutting grass, taking care of things. We're in the middle of grass season. And right now, we're paying Parks Recreation Department to cut everything out there.
And the problem we had last night after I locked the gate up, somebody went and cut the gate. Didn't cut the lock or the pin, they cut the gate.
And that'll make a big difference by having somebody out there all the time, just make sure the gate's properly locked up and they go, make sure that people are out there when they're supposed to be out.
Yeah, I was the last one out there last night, so I messaged Connie last night, so I'm probably gonna lock somebody in, and then people came out. And I was the last one to leave, locked it up, and then when Frank went in this morning to unlock it.
So if it's okay with council, I'd like to, once we get these numbers, if we get them by Monday evening time of council meeting, we can add this to as a special line item.
Is the agenda posted on that? I can go ahead and mark it as amended and the item to the agenda.
Because if not, it's going to delay it another 2 weeks, and then by the time we're looking at another month down the road.
Did you hear what Bill said?
Or do we want to put an amount on there,
Not to exceed.
not to exceed, so we can go ahead and start moving? I mean, I don't know, I can
Simply, if we have it on there as a, not a discussion, but an action item, then we can determine the amount of it.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
okay,
The main item, the main thing is to get the item on.
You don't want to hamstring yourself today.
Go ahead and amend that.
Matt's not gonna be responsible for mowing grass and stuff up here until he moves in, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
that's gonna be a lot on him,
I kind of worked a little bit of that with him.
because he's gonna have to work and work on the house and mow grass all three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got it down pretty good, Pat, now, with cutting, it's under control. Finishing up Shawnee today, so they'll probably end up, if they're done after lunch, they'll probably go out there and start cutting on Nick and tomorrow.
I see a lot of little things on here too, that some of these people, some of our city employees will help. I mean, you're talking about receptacles, you're seeing, but I mean, anyway.
The other thing, that's probably gonna come out of receptacles, probably just need what, one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom?
You need the one closest to the
water. Yeah, your water.
You put the one closest to the circuit breaker as a ground fault, the others all connect to that one, so it will trip. If you put 3 of them in, it'll screw up the circuit, so.
That's the one that they chain off each other.
Yeah.
Now, for the record, Connie's been working on getting the budget amendment ready for you all for tomorrow. But we still have money left in new equipment at the, under Parks and Recreation, where we were gonna look at putting the air conditioning in, then we had the roof come in, which was 20,000. So there's still, what, maybe, I don't know, did you take that?
I should have brought it in there with me.
But anyway, but we have money,
With all the numbers.
we have money left in the new equipment item to cover the expense without having to move much stuff around, take it out of contingency.
You know you're gonna find something else. I mean, remodel never works the way it looks on paper. But as long as we have more in that account, then we're okay. We can always go back and add.
But it's just gonna be little things that once we get the bids, which will be just under normal purchase order, just move forward with it.
The only thing else is that, we determined is where we're gonna put the back door, we really don't have a back door.
Well, we need to do it back.
You put the back door in the hallway.
You want it in the hallway right there? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I was, didn't know what we would do, if you're gonna put it there on that back porch, or there.
You
Yeah.
don't want to pick it back door by committee.
Well, first of all, what he's talking about, there used to be a back porch that somebody, boxed in. And then they put like a shed door. It's like a, 6 foot by 6'8" shed door on the back side of the porch. And I think, what was it they stored in there?
There was a motorcycle they stored in there.
They stored a
motor
motor
in there.
So they stored a motorcycle in there, so. But there is a back door, but I don't want to get into the expense of.
No, we had a back door on when I was rec department.
Anyway,
Nothing.
we'll take it.
Okay, so if that's okay with you, once we get some numbers close to it, we'll bring it up on council floor as a special item.
It won't have to be a special
It
item.
won't be a special item, it'll be Monday, and then we vote on Monday night to approve it, so we can go ahead and get started on everything. Is that okay with you other members? Next line item, of course, the biggest one we'll come here all talk about, and that's the pool down in Shawnee. The governor's uplifted some of the pools to start opening up, but with many, many restrictions. In your packet, you have a list of everything was kind of put together on the guidelines of running the pool that we need to go by. The big thing is there, and I won't go through each one of them, is, starting off with just only like 50 people at a time. The big thing is we need about 11 people to staff this thing. And they have to be, everybody has to be trained, and in case something happens, they get everybody to know all the ins and outs of medical response, and if anything that would come about, we have to have the manpower to do it, and we don't have it. Bub is called, I'll let you go ahead and report, Bub, on who all you contacted, but right now, we can't find lifeguards, we can't find managers, we can't find anybody that wants to basically work just for 2 months. It's not just because of this, it's because everybody's on unemployment. And they're making a ton of money on unemployment. It's not about the money about opening up anything, it's about finding the people to do this thing and running it right. And we just can't keep hiring people. The people that we do hire are going to have to be there for the summer. Bub, how many people have you contacted, and what the other parks and pools feel like that they're?
Well, I've done, and I think the mayor's done some too, some of the other cities, and a lot of them are not opening. I know that, but I did reach out to the YMCA yesterday, trying to talk to the third person over that. She wasn't in. So we just want to try to see about lifeguards there, but I also contacted the Red Cross and see if there's any CPR, lifeguarding training. They said they did extend it to June 20th of this year for the certifications. And I had the guy went ahead and did a 100-mile radius of any classes, and there's none.
So
That's the biggest thing you'll run into.
So if we have a lifeguard that has an expired certification, there's no way that they can, without traveling 100+ miles to get recertified to be in the pool.
So how many people do you have right now?
I only had like 2 people applications.
Now, how many of them has their license expired?
I like 1.
So you're down to 1 person then?
Yeah.
Same for y'all, we're going to close pool this year. St. Albans has not yet decided, correct, Councilman, or St. Albans Councilman back there.
No, they have not.
Nitro, Mayor Casebold, they say theirs.
Nitro is not going to open their pool. I think they're in the same position that we're in. They determined early on they weren't going to have the staff in order to operate it, and I think they were concerned about finances. And as I've explained to council, I don't think financing is the biggest issue to run the pool for a month and a half or whatever it would be. That's not going to make us or break us. We can find that money, but what we've got to be able to do is be able to guarantee that we've got staff out there that's trained and certified and qualified to provide the safety that's necessary. And the other critical thing that we need to be taking into consideration, that we're going to be expecting teenagers to implement all these policies. So, where normally we would have just maybe 2 pool men, we're going to have probably more adult supervision down there than just 2 pool managers. I mean, based on some of our experiences, it could be quite confrontational at a swimming pool, between the lifeguards and the patrons.
We're seeing on national TV issues with, when they try to break up the pool crowds, issues they're having. What is, Mayor Goodwin in Charleston, what are they? I'm just trying to get it out.
They are not going
From my understanding, they're not open up any of their pool at King Center, up at Decatur, and,
Well, I mean, I've talked to her personally.
pardon
I have talked to her personally.
me? Yeah, that's just what I heard, unless they change it tonight or at their council meeting, I don't know.
Yeah, unless they, she said they have not made a commitment one way or the other right now. Okay. But there again, I think they're faced with the same dilemma that we're faced with. I think they've got, what, 4 pools that they've got to staff.
Canal City, one downtown, Martin Luther, and Cato Park, and North Charleston, have 4 pools.
In Coonskin.
That's
No,
it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The wide.
Nitro's in the same problem. Dave Casebolt told me they had 3 lifeguards.
And usually they're double the lifeguards we have.
Well, they are. Geo 1, they got 3.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I think we've arrived at the fact that we can't get enough people to work down there or operate the place safely or anything, so on top of that, I would like to go ahead and just make a motion that we do not open our pool this year for the simple reason that we can't get the staff or the adult workers down there that is needed to operate it safely.
Motion on the floor, by Mr. Fleshman and seconded by Councilman Wolf. Do we want to have a vote with all council on all this?
That was the reason for.
And that's what I was, going to have a roll call made, so all those in favor, voting sign to go ahead and keep the pool closed this year. Yay?
Do you need to do roll call though?
Want to go ahead and do roll call then,
We'll do.
please?
Steve Arnott,
Yes.
Mike Scipio,
Yes.
Doug Fleshman,
Yes.
Greg Hudson,
Yes.
Greg Wolf,
Yes.
Connie Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Hughes,
Yes.
Linda Bogus.
Yes.
Okay, with that, that's unanimous, vote that we're not going to be open pool unless some ungodly reason comes in that we're able to get 25 or 30 people and certified, then we'll look at it again.
Well, this is our decision.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any looking back. I mean, it's our decision.
Okay.
Well, you can always look.
Yeah, you can always- you can always make other decisions.
All you have to do is take another vote.
Okay, that pool party, the pot of is closed. Dates of reopening the shelters. Bob, I know we spoke about this, and again, it's about basically going on the same guidelines as if everybody read their, on these about people being 25, 50, 100, capacity of it. But we've lost a little bit of, revenue in our reservations that we don't want to continue doing. There's a lot of things still to do in our parks. And right now they're shut down. And I'd like to see what everybody's opinion is on them about opening them back up immediately.
I do want to say that we already closed them all for June, and I've already issued Connie reimbursements to anybody who's already paid. We have contacted 98% of the people. Some people we can't get a hold of right now. We're still trying, but they haven't paid. But some of the people was like, well, we figured you wasn't going to open it. All due is completely done. So we got to look at July, August, September, October. Plus the building up on the hill, it rents out all year long.
Okay, let me, if I can, add some clarification. What he's talking about is closing out. We are not renting the shelters. Okay, now, they can be, we could look at options that they're open for people to use, but we would not reserve them, rent them, or anything of that nature. So that's what we need to discuss is to whether or not we're going to make them available for people to just go picnic, as opposed to reserving them for a reunion or something like that. So if we're not renting them, if we rent them, then we've got all kinds of criteria that we have to comply with. Now, if they're, we need to research and see if they're just open for people to go sit and have lunch. We'll have to investigate how frequently we would need to go investigate so forth like that, to clean them. There's no way to sanitize a picnic, a wood top picnic table that I can think of. So, I mean, if we're having to go back in, and I'll get some clarification from the health department or whatever, but we have to go in and sanitize wood, figure out how to do wood picnic table tops, so forth.
You guys scrub concrete floors and everything. People drop stuff on it, people spit on it or whatever, you gotta clean all that too.
So, and in the public restrooms, if you read through here, the public restrooms are open in the park. We've got to have people going in there on a regular basis and re-sanitizing them. You know, unless some of these restrictions are lifted, it's going to be quite complicated. And I think definitely the playground equipment has to be continued to be installed. So we don't have the kids walking around with playground equipment with us. So kind of a quandary.
We got a playground equipment installed, city part of that there.
Not yet, we gotta get it done this week too. Only shelters we have done so far is everything I'm on.
Yeah, I noticed. Good caution.
No, we just had fencing
That's
around.
right. So, yeah.
But all the bathrooms are locked.
I agree on the bathrooms, but, I mean, why couldn't we, you want the playground equipment, I mean, you can't wipe them down every 15 minutes. I don't care where you're doing or what they're doing, they're not gonna be doing them at the amusement parks either, that are getting ready to open. They're putting them big backpack sprayers on, and they're going around in between or whatever, they're spraying them 2 or 3 times a day. And, you know, people, about 100,000, you know, 1,000 people are gonna be going in these parks starting here in a couple of weeks. So not between every ride are they gonna be sanitizing everything. They're just, you know, they're gonna spray them and get the next, but then clean them good in the morning time, making sure they're clean, clean them at night, and then we're done with them. But we got a lot of beautiful playing places out there in our parks, and I can't see shutting them down all summer long. I'm sorry. I think we use proper, and I can see the bathrooms, because the bathrooms are, you know, a big sanitary issue. There's a playground equipment for the kids to play on and use. We're already closed to pool where things are limited. I don't see why we couldn't get a couple of big backpack sprayers. Everybody's doing them, you know, all the big stores, department stores, and spraying their stuff down, and they spray the concrete, they spray the buggies, they spray tables. You know, do it a couple times a day. All places a guy in a pickup truck and go do it for 10 or 15, you know, at each park or something. That's just my opinion on it. That's what we're here to talk about. So,
Even if you go get a backpack, get hand sanitizer, it's not even gonna shit alcohol. Like that'll take care of that.
Well, but there again, we don't have an unlimited supply of that, so what we would have to end up doing is fixing a chlorine solution. But even chlorine's getting hard to get a hold of.
I'm almost sure if you use a fogger, once you fog it, you gotta leave it for a period of time, and I think it's like an hour or 2. Because the chemicals they're putting on there, they got a hydrostatic charge to it. And if you get around that and breathe that, it goes into your lungs and it can damage your lungs.
So again, so we're doing it in the morning before kids got out there, sat all night, we'll do it at nighttime again. You know, just get everything, make sure everything was all over, we'd be following those issues.
I'll share something else.
Okay.
We checked on one for the church, and the guy that was checking on it couldn't find one. The earliest you could get one sometime in August. back away from it, so it,
I mean,
spray alcohol and that kind of stuff.
theoretically, we should be able to, I think if you look at some of the criteria here, if we could get an adequate supply of chlorine, we could probably mix a chlorine solution with the backpack sprayer, is what you were talking about. And then spray.
Sprayer, yes, but I'm talking about fogger.
No, fogger,
That's a new animal when you get into fogger.
well, it's really not gonna work in an outside environment anyway.
Right, do we not have a supply of chlorine in Shawnee Pool?
That's going to ask. No, we're done.
None.
Not at all?
No, I don't order as we need it. You can't leave it, what I do at the end of the year, I know about when it's gonna be empty, but I don't order it. Right now, our tank's dry.
It's set so long out, it'll start. Right,
But you can buy smaller,
Yeah, you could buy 15-gallon drums off of, C.I. Thornburg that we can add.
You buy the 40 pounder, don't you buy?
No, I buy,
liquid,
liquid hypo.
and it's a lot stronger than regular.
Oh, yeah.
Easier to mix too.
We're short on manpower already. The public works, recreation, we're always short on manpower, we're gonna get another man, to go out and run around and clean there.
Well, you're not gonna do it all day long. I mean, it's just, a couple times, once or twice a day, but
But the rules say you have to do it after every person, for every, crowd, whatever's in there, every crew. That's what I was trying to think of. So I don't know, it's just, there's more population than there are people to clean up for it, and it's, you can't keep up with it, there's no way.
If we were to have one more employee for that person, I would be a problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we're already short right now,
Yeah,
so that's
I
what
didn't think
they
that I
have
could
to do.
do. But that's not, I think it's the only job.
It basically be weekends.
Well, then I think the caretakers should take care of that.
Well, the caretaker should be able to do their part, but you're looking at down Shawnee, we would definitely have to have somebody. down there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think if any way possible, the playground, picnic, just in general, no, like you said, no revenue coming in, so we get out on that side to have a, because these kids have already been cooped up for 3 months. We're going to need something for them to do, and the sun's on our favor, out there as well, versus you're outside.
Well, it's like I watched over there at that 15th Street Park. They went over there for the last good month.
Yeah.
They've been there. But the point is, people want to get out, they want to do that, whether it be kids or families or whatever. I can't see keeping the park closed. Yeah, in my mind, I'm saying make it July 1.
Sadly, there's not that many people go, so we wouldn't worry about the crowd.
Well, most of the families want to go to the parks. They don't want to see.
I take my grandkids up to the city park and use it. We just always take sanitize with us and we sanitize when we,
That's what we
when we
do.
sanitize when we go, when we sanitize.
Mr. Chairman, but get us a price for a, high capacity sprayer. I mean, it's gonna take several gallons, whether it's a dolly or whatever. And price of, chlorine solution from, C.I. Thornburg. Now, we're gonna have to figure out some way to run the metering. And because the solution that we get from C.I. Thornburg is 1% chlorine.
I mean, we don't need to have the meters done. I mean, I can get a thing, and sometimes I do, is get one of them on hand pumps, get it started, you know about how much it picks up.
Well, I mean,
You just wanna make sure whoever's doing it,
they're gonna have to wear a respirator, and they're gonna have to have a face shield,
gloves,
and gloves.
chlorine will be right smack through your clothes right on the back.
I've never had that happen.
Oh, no, not at all.
well, proper safety gear.
That's the, field marshal.
I was out at Coonskin the other day, kids were playing on the skateboard park. And the guy had one of those regular backpack sprayers that you buy like at Lowe's or thing, they're $129. That was 5 gallon, you pump them up, you throw them on your back. And every once in a while, they go up there and spray everything down. They were out there sitting on a picnic table. They were doing everything out there. People were walking on the trails. Now, they did have everything at the, the playground equipment all roped out to tie off. They did until, but now, that was a week ago. Now they've uplifted everything. So I don't know what they're gonna do on theirs, but, as far as everything else, you keep it down on the boulevard, the benches, everybody's sitting on the benches. And they go by and spray them every once in a while.
Well, both caretakers both have backpacks where it's at.
And they're not, it's not that expensive a deal, except for.
No, but they use, we probably can't use those.
And they recycle,
Yeah.
we need your.
Yeah, we show it.
No, you need to get.
Yeah, I just thought of that.
Jim, can I say something? Jim.
Jim,
Just because it's, we have, I'm not opposed to what we're talking about, but I know that we have a guy in our church that works I think he runs United Dairy up there. He has to keep it sanitized. He works with Echo Labs, and they've got a chemical up there. They mix up 1 ounce to 5 gallons, and they can treat their facility with that solution. You don't have to wear any PPE, and it's approved for COVID-19 to kill the virus or kill the germs. And if there is a case of COVID-19, they change it, and it's 1 ounce to 1 gallon. He said it's readily available through Echo Labs, and I can try to find out contact.
If you need his contact from me, and I'll,
Yeah,
just give it to me, I just put down to contact him.
yeah.
what's the ratio was?
1 ounce to 5 gallons is what he said.
Wow.
And then if you have an incident of COVID-19, change it to 1 ounce in a gallon of water. And he said no PPE, and don't worry, it's safe to use what he said. You guys don't wear any gloves or masks or anything. So I'll find out, I'll get that information to him. And I don't know, he said it was available to us, so I assume it's available to anybody, but it's through Echo Labs.
So if we didn't open up the bathrooms, and, the picnic facilities, I know there's a lot of people planning their reunions or family get-togethers and all that. Why could we not still let people have their picnics out there? If you're not opening up the restrooms to where they're going and using the restrooms and stuff, you can close. But if they're going to go there and still have their picnic, say you have their picnic, but they have to understand that there's not any facility.
That's what I was saying, we cannot rent it, and,
Well, okay, we won't rent it, we'll just open it up then.
but we still have to make sure that there's no groups greater than 25.
That's
I
what we
mean,
have a
and, I mean,
police department for, we tell somebody and post a sign out there.
What's the deputy do that lives down there in Shawnee? Does he have any responsibilities? Okay. I thought he was supposed to take care of
no,
people and stuff like that.
no,
I mean, I think that's leave the park open, don't charge. Close the bathrooms.
Shawnee down there, damn God, today, there were people down there walking, and the kids were playing, soccer, and, I mean, it was wonderful to see everybody back out in the parks again. Of course, nobody was eating on the picnic, it was, we got to make a facility, both parks, I mean,
can I make a recommendation?
pardon me?
Can I make a recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Find us another person for the summer that we can designate to go from park to park to park, restroom to restroom to restroom, all day long, spraying and cleaning and taking care of it, because if we halfway do this, we're opening ourselves up for liability.
Sure.
So we're either gonna do it full tilt and comply with the requirements and I think that's what it's gonna take. We're gonna have to have a person that's just assigned to go spray the playground equipment, the restrooms, and the picnic shelters, and just,
You don't have to have a lot of signage up that says.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
No more than 25 people allowed
Yeah.
together.
We take something like these guidelines of what we have here, almost like he's eliminating cool stuff out of it, but, and post them on, where you go into the parks or something. If it's written, these are the rules, just like what we have a wine cellar and what we have out there now. If you don't go by the rules, you're asked to leave. I mean, simple as that.
But
I mean,
I think you have to find out how many times a day you have to clean the bathroom.
Says a minimum of
Because we do have to do it at least 3 times a day, 5 times a day.
It says start, middle, and end.
No, there again, it's going to depend on the usage. I mean, and if we have one person that's assigned to mowing grass and then going along and doing this fill-in stuff, I mean, as far as spraying and, you know, just doing the spraying, I mean, he can be doing other things other than, he can pick up trash and do the spraying and clean up and do stuff like that around the parks and meet the requirements. And whether it's 5 times a day or whether it's 3 times a day, I mean, we'll try to adhere to these guidelines as best we can. And then if somebody comes back and points a finger at us, we'll say that we're doing everything that we can do to make it accessible to the people, but yet being in compliance with the orders that are out there.
What I'm hearing is, are you going to open or close the restrooms? If you're gonna open them, when you gonna open them?
As soon as we get the person available that can get the equipment set up.
So if everything's in place June 1, restrooms be open?
Just as soon as,
Not,
yeah, just as soon as he gets it done, we'll just announce it's open. If that is the will of the council.
there's no reservation.
Then we'll get some signs made up with all the restrictions and everything, you know.
You want professional, you want them done?
Go and have made up.
Okay, I didn't know if you was wanting to put like this and like that. Okay.
This thing ain't gonna go away overnight, so now they've been here for years, I don't know. None of us do, but at least we're applying and going by all the guidelines that are on here. That's what everybody else is doing. They're strictly on doors when you go to restaurants everywhere now. I mean, they got everything on there. I mean, follow these rules, please. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, are you gonna open all the shelters down Shawnee, or maybe 3 of them, or, I mean, that's just something,
As a lot in that one area.
yeah.
Well, but there again, if we have a person assigned to going from all the parks and doing that, is, you know, going by and spraying
Yeah,
the
bringing
picnic
them up.
isn't gonna be that, and he's gonna have pickers and he can pick it up as, I mean, that's gonna be his job.
That would
Oh,
actually.
I agree,
help.
but if all 6 shelters are being used, and
They got the porta potty John's all locked up. I know a wine cellar, but it's open.
Yeah, I've been up there, I use it every day.
See, it's not.
Yeah, it's
supposed to be
open. I didn't.
It's not even supposed to be open.
Oh, you talking about the Porta John or the?
Porta John, I want to pull Anderson Lake.
It was a-
It was open.
It's supposed to be locked.
next
Supposed to be
question,
locked and
Yeah, they're
secured.
not being sanitized.
It's not
next
being
question,
sanitized.
do we have a vehicle that, because they're gonna have to have a vehicle.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, cause right now, with the other guys I got, I don't mind it. I'm using my truck to go do everything. I don't care, cause gas is cheap and I love my truck.
Well, we gave you a chance to get that in Union One, so.
I'm happy with my little truck.
You had a chance to get your truck on here.
Well,
Can they use the
I
old?
will use executive privilege, and we will abscond with the police reserve mayor's chief for a little while.
Yeah, I put that chemical in that thing, I'm sorry.
Well, that's
Everybody agree.
That'd probably be a good idea anyway, so if they roll in that reserve police car, they might think they're a policeman,
You go up there anyway and check everything.
you know.
I
I
mean,
thought that had, the porta potty had a padlock on it.
No, we didn't put nothing on it.
That thing needs to be locked off.
Okay, then I can put a lock on it and let them know.
Whomever you hire, they'll need to have a logbook with them.
Okay.
Document
Exactly.
every
Everybody do it
part,
on spreadsheet.
every time.
Well, that's-
part.
let's have a motion that we're gonna do this.
No, that's what we're gonna do.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and basically open up the parks, but not the playground equipment at this time right now. We'll let people go in and do picnicking.
The shelters will be first come, first served.
Exactly.
I thought playgrounds was included though.
Not till we.
I'm okay with that too.
If we get the sprayer, we can spray the playground
I'd
equipment the
say,
same way we
let's open
do
it up,
that.
all guys, but, Jim, here, get it open, and we got to say, once we get the signs and stuff up, the proper spray and the things to do it, to make sure everything's in order, then we open
Take a couple
everything
weeks
back
about
up.
that.
June 15th.
June 15th, that's my.
Does it say June 15th?
Yeah.
All right, somebody put it in order that, and we'll vote on
I'll make a motion that we open up the parks with playgrounds, restrooms, contingent on June 15th if we hire a person, to full-time spray and take care of the parks.
Motion by Wolf.
Doing it with signage.
And the signage posted.
Okay.
I got one question. One question. Just thought of this. City Park building. You still gonna do it, or you want the limit to make sure there's no 25 people there? We can still run in.
Just open it up.
Okay.
Wait,
If
no,
they're-
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
you're talking about the city park building?
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to go ahead and eliminate that for the whole year.
For right now.
Okay,
But not for the whole year, just until all the restrictions are lifted.
okay.
Okay, we got a motion here on the floor, and we got a second.
I second.
Second, Mr. Fleshman. Do a roll call vote, please.
Could you reread the motion so I can understand what we're voting on?
The motion is that we're gonna reopen up the parks, hopefully by June the 15th. But we're gonna hire a person to go around with the proper, equipment to spray down equipment at least a couple times a day. And make sure it's sanitized. We're gonna get proper signage put up with all guidelines for the virus. And we're gonna open up the parks like that. But the shelters, the bathrooms will not be open up.
Yes, they will be.
Yes, because I don't think you can provide all these
You
shelters.
got somebody cleaning, then you might as well clean the
Yeah.
bathroom while they're at it.
And we'll open up shelter, restrooms also.
Yeah, that guys will do that also.
I like the
Certainly,
use the city park.
Okay. Not raining.
City Park.
Right, another will be
Not
rented.
raining.
Right, correct.
No renting out at all. So we find out what's gonna go on with this thing, I've already budgeted.
Include in the motion that until that 25 has been lifted, and then,
Yes, until we find out what's gonna go on with the situation. In 2 weeks, he may come to us, say everything's open, you never know. Then they make 2 weeks shut down everything. We have no idea about that.
That's not a record, is it?
Why the spread, so we have a motion on the floor, and second, we need to vote for everybody on this.
Steve Arnott,
Yes.
Mike Scipio,
Yes.
Doug Fleshman,
Yes.
Greg Wolf,
Yes.
Greg Hudson,
Yes.
Lonnie Thompson,
Yes.
Jim Hughes,
Yes.
Linda Baldwin.
Yes.
And on that now, why you spray the park over here too?
Yeah, they need.
Spray the park across the street of all the disinfectant over there too, the library.
Don't forget to put 15th Street on there.
Yeah, just make the change.
I think it's a great thing we're doing. So. Okay, we're going to take care of the reopening of the shelters again. It may change next week. He may be up with everything where it may close. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with everything. Now, next order of business is upcoming events that we got coming up, and we have 3 of them that are real big. And again, it's going to depend on what happens with the amount of people that we're allowed to have. But our first one, it's always a big thing, is our kids day on the park. With our park situation, we usually do that in June anyway, but now, if we're gonna open this back up, we could do this sometime in July or August, have kids day in the park again. Because it is outside. And, I don't see any issue why we couldn't. We just need to set a date for it, and, have somebody work on get the word out. Just to limit, to, I don't know about serving food or not, but whether that's gonna be okay to do.
The only thing that we serve is
Hot dogs, that's what I'm saying, hot dogs and drinks.
I think as long as we maintain the proper protocol, I don't think it's gonna be an issue with giving everybody a hot dog and a cold bottle of water.
It's just a weenie in a bun, they put their own mustard, that's one of the squeeze bottles. So.
No, we
No,
use
it's,
Squeeze the little plastic thing, packets.
Yeah, I think packets.
and serve cold drink, and, you know, we still have our kids down the park. And do that, we just need to come up with a date of when we're gonna have it, so that it's good for everybody. So if we can look at the schedule for that, that'd be wonderful. This is also going to depend on the fall festival and also the Dunbar. Because the fall festival, we're going to start working on now immediately to find out who we're going to get as entertainment. We don't have anybody doing that right now.
We're getting
I'll
started.
see.
You see.
And, you know, contacting the people that,
We're getting ready to crank up.
okay, so that's in the work for the fall festival. Same thing will be on the booth guys, when we have it, if we can't have it inside, we can always have it outside. Depending on the weather, I don't know.
I just want to know, I want to do it in July or August. Kids Day.
Find an open date, it's good for everybody on a Saturday.
I would follow what Mike is saying, do it in August. People are gonna start their vacations in July, they put them off. So.
We don't
have to worry about school because it's closed for the weekend.
When are they going back to school? Oh, they don't know if they're already in school.
So if they're already in school,
They
I
haven't
think they go back
decided
like
that
10 or 17. If they go back, it's usually around that time.
What's weekend before 17th?
We got
The 15th, is that what you're talking about?
on August 15th.
The intended date, August 15th.
Yes.
And I think we,
15th August, is everybody else good with that date, August 15th? Let them have kids down the park. I think we need to put that in motion, and then we're just gonna move kids down the park on August 15th. Still do the same things we've been doing. And we're working on the fall festival, we'll come up with a date on the fall festival at another time.
it's always the same time.
Yeah, it's always the third weekend, third Friday, Saturday in September.
So we're gonna still try to shoot for that.
And I went ahead and looked about any, you know, for canceling any races or anything like that, just to check. Some have, some haven't. So, the 50-50 thing right there.
So that'd be September the what? Third weekend is 18th and 19th.
Yes, correct, 18th and 19th.
The fall festival, we used to have, always have it when nobody else had anything.
Used to be.
Now, everybody in the valley has something that same weekend. This, by any chance, could we look at another weekend, and any way we can get schedules for the other cities to see if
Yeah, go check and see what others have.
can we do that?
Yeah.
I think we ought to, because like I said, there was, Barbersville had something going on in Milton, St. Albans, Charleston,
South Charleston.
South Charleston.
Ripley changed theirs years ago, the same as ours, so last year we had it over there and it really hurt us.
Now, Charleston's not open up their every Friday night festivity now, so they're
Yeah, they
going to do a couple of movie nights.
They canceled their live on the levee.
Yeah, so they are doing a couple of movie nights on, I don't know what dates they fall on.
I'd like to see how that's going to go.
I like to kind of see it, we must do that too. I mean,
Yep,
don't get me
we
wrong.
do.
I think it'd be a neat thing to do. Mayor, we were talking about doing it at the city park, and it'd be a perfect place to do it. You can still go up there and secure it off.
Parking lot of the pool.
And it wouldn't cost very much either, but get a screen or a big sheet up there or something, get a big screen, and you can go up and park on the tiers and put it down over the hill.
Bernie just left, St. Albans is already scheduled, like, two, scheduled.
I don't know. Yes, I think you're right. I think it's
I'm not sure
CTO.
where they're gonna do it, but I know they've got set party plans to do out, like, drive-in movies.
Well, we find out what their dates are, Bub, so we don't interfere with theirs, and let's do our own.
They all jumped from our date.
And
We had that date for years, now everybody's jumping from that same weekend.
And that way, we'll do something else too. We need to do something, since we're not doing anything for the kids at the pools and everything else. We talked about having something maybe downtown again, just for the kids, we'll do in the park, having that foam thing, and just doing something different.
What about the traveling water park? Has that been discussed anymore, sir?
It is.
Okay.
As soon as I get the grass people caught up a little bit, I'll get Beach and YT started on the fabrication.
Just take that neighborhood, playground.
Actually, just playground or neighborhood to neighborhood. That way kids don't have to go all
Go
over,
somewhere.
go someplace to do it. It's very close to them and longer to fire.
Yes.
That's not a fire hydrant.
We used to do that as playground directors.
Oh, yeah.
That's how some of the kids got by it.
Anybody have any,
Truthfully, when I did that for several summers.
report on
Somehow,
those,
someone
as
goes,
far as on aging, and how's what's going on with that?
The, as you're aware, they started on the floor downstairs. We should have our, was it testing this week or next week? For the people coming back.
This Friday they are.
They're gonna get tested tomorrow. So hopefully they'll have news by Monday, and if that's the case, we will have him back. Now, the other two, I'm not sure about right now, because they both have medical issues that are not related to COVID-19. So, hopefully one of them will be back, and the other one, not really sure what.
So we're still several weeks into opening up the senior citizens. Back out.
I mean, as far as downstairs, it's gonna be a couple of weeks for that stuff, but now as far as staff being back to doing what they were doing as far as meals and, transports and so forth, hopefully we can get that started up, sometime next week, go back to normal.
Are y'all still delivering meals?
Already up today.
Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't know y'all still
The
doing that.
Three Musketeers.
Harvey?
The Three Musketeers.
Thank you. Last person calls for free students.
Well, I did the first week.
Does anybody in council have anything else they'd like to discuss while we're in a special meeting for this? Don, any motion to move into the meeting? Adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second. And second by Mr. Pleasant. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Appreciate it.
Mayor, what about Monday, the arrangements for Monday? Yeah. What we take off?
We are, we're on the.
No, I mean, as far as Zoom or in person. Yes, no finance.
If
I'll share with you.
you want this week to tell me, I
I'm around all the time, man.
don't know that we need to have.
Let's see, right